back here to break down the the game we saw, game one, Knicks versus the Hawks. Here to break it down and go over a few things about my thoughts on this game and what I think cost the Hawks from winning this game and what I think they could do going forward to win this next game that's tomorrow on Monday. So, to start off, I would say that this is a winnable game for the Hawks. Atlanta could have won this game. They had a lot of mishaps in this game that cost them from being able to get the W. Now, to start the game, Brunson was hot. He was going crazy. He was doing his thing. But let's not mistake it for him just getting all kind of wide open looks. He was literally hitting contested shots. He was hitting some tough shots. And credit to him. He was hitting tough ones. The one thing I will say is the Hawks defense did play pretty good throughout the day. Throughout the game. They every shot that the Knicks took was highly contested. There's a few breakdowns where, guys got a couple wide open looks. But for the most part, every shot that the Knicks took was highly contested. Somebody was in their face, had a hand up, trying to put their hands in the cookie jar to get a couple steals. That Dyson did come away with a couple steals, I should say. He had 3 steals in this game, which was a good sign. Excuse me. Which was a good sign. I would definitely say we need more of that in game 2. But I definitely love that, we were on their guys. We were all over them, making everything difficult for them. Now, on the other side, I wouldn't say the same for the Knicks. I wouldn't say the Knicks came out and was all over us and was all over and contested every shot we took. I would more or less say that there was a lot of shots that the Hawks just missed. There was so many wide open shots that they just couldn't knock down. There was wide open shots in the paint that they just didn't hit. I noticed there was a lot of shots in the paint that the Hawks really short-armed. Dyson Daniels had about 2 or 3 shots in the paint that he short-armed. Jalen had some. McCollum had some. I would say that maybe the guys were feeling a little bit of the jitters in this first game. That could be the reason for short-arming some of these shots. Another because they were trying to, throw it up a little too quick to try and stop from getting blocked. That could be a reason too. But I would say a little bit of jitters were played into that. But also, there was a lot of instances in this game where the Hawks were overthinking. The players were overthinking instead of just doing what needed to be done. Like, for instance, there was a play where the Hawks had a chance to tie the game up, and the Hawks got the ball over. They got to stop on the other end. They come down court off a steal. It was a breakaway. They had you had Alexander Walker running down the floor with the ball. You had Towns running towards the hoop, and you had Jalen Johnson running towards the hoop. So you had a 2-on-1. Now, Towns just kind of went straight to the hoop and try to just, stay there up underneath the hoop. And Alexander Walker had the shot at a wide open 3-pointer. But instead of taking that 3, he thought about it and then just attacked the hole. Which, hey, okay, I love. Attack the paint, be aggressive. But when he went and attacked, he gets blocked right at the rim. And it ends up going out of bounds, or I believe either way, New York got the ball back after that possession. So it was a waste of possession. In other instances like that throughout the year, we have seen Alexander Walker, Nikhil, come down, and when that same opportunity presented himself, he would let the 3 fly. And most times, he's draining it. He's draining that 3. Me, I would have rather seen him take that 3 and had more. You have a better odds and chances of, if that ball does miss, bouncing off the rim where Jalen has a shot at grabbing that ball because it could have ricocheted a little farther, maybe hit off the front of the rim, bounce a little farther than Cat could have got to. I would have rather seen him shoot that three. After that miss, they come down, they hit like a three, boom. Instead of us tying the game, they go up 5-6 points, right back up on us. Every time the Hawks had a chance to get back in this game, or tie the game, or cut it down to 2 points, it would be an instance like that where they would miss an easy wide open shot. It would be a turnover. They throw the ball out of bounds, but most of it was just off of missed shots. And then what would happen off a missed shot? Boom, they come back down, get an and one, get a 3-point play, something like that, and then that just stops the whole run. And then you went from being able to go down by 1 point or 2 points to now you're down 5, 6, 7 points. There was a point in this game where, and I looked this up. There was a point in this game where the Hawks went 0 for 9 from deep. They went 0 for 9 from 3-point range at a point in this game. And I'm pretty sure this was second quarter. No, this was the third quarter. 0-9 from 3 in the third quarter. This was a part of the third quarter. They went 0 for 9 from 3. And these 0 for 9, this ain't contested shots. These are wide open shots that they just plainly missed. Guys just couldn't knock down their shots, and they just scored off of those points. New York beat us in fast break points. They got out and ran like we want to. And our bench literally did nothing for us. Kuminga played some solid defense, some good, decent minutes, but absolutely no production from the bench. But I will say I was impressed with what we got from Mogai. Mogai played good. He played some really good, solid defense. We didn't get no scoring from him, but we got some great, solid defense from him, which I can definitely appreciate. Now, the big thing you're going to hear about this all over social media, everywhere you're going to hear, is about people upset with Dyson Daniels because Dyson Daniels scored only 4 points. So that's going to be the big hurrah everybody's upset about. Dyson Daniels scores 4 points, right? Now, yes, we would love for Dyson Daniels to come out and have a way better scoring performance than that. Most times he's going to get you anywhere from 8 to 10 points, you would say, in a game is good. Is decent for us to get from him. But he only gave us 4 points. Now, I wouldn't say his shooting was that bad. He shot what? Okay, I take that back. He did shoot 2 or 7. He shot 2 or 7 and 0 2 from 3. But in retrospect, as I'm looking at the numbers right now, Dyson Daniels had 9 rebounds and he had 11 assists, 3 steals, 2 turnovers. Okay? So, yeah, his scoring wasn't that great. He wasn't that efficient scoring. He short-armed a couple shots at the rim that he usually would make, and we have seen him make, especially down the stretch of the year. And we've seen him make it against good teams too. So we're not going to go with that, oh, he did it against bad teams. He's done it against good teams too. So I would say, yeah, it does suck that his scoring wasn't there, but he did do other things in this game that helped the team. I mean, come on, if you get 11 assists, you are still contributing towards buckets, all right? You're still contributing towards scoring. So let's get out of here with because he only scored 4 points, that hurt us. The real thing that hurt us was, more than just that, was, I feel like Jalen Johnson wasn't as aggressive as he should have been to start the game. He did end the game with 23 points. His scoring wasn't bad. His shots, what? He was 8 of 19 from field goal and 3 of 7 from 3. There was a couple instances where Jalen was overthinking and he double clutched on some threes when he had the wide open 3 to take, and he tried to drive it, but then nothing was there, and then it was the whole offense just kind of lost its flow. And then there was I felt like towards the end of the third quarter, or in the third quarter, when the Hawks started making another run, Jalen started getting aggressive and he started attacking the rim. He started hitting some nice shots. He hit a 3. he did some nice things to get us back in this game. And then another instance happened where he got down in the paint and he just missed one of those little bunnies off the backboard that he usually hits. And then after that, it went from us tying the game, or I think making a 2-point game, and then boom, flipping the script, and we're back down 5-6 points. And it felt like we were always down between 5 and 8 points a lot in this game, even after little runs where the Hawks would go on to tie the game or try to take the lead, a mishap or two, and boom, now they're back down 5 to 8 points. I would like to see Jalen Johnson next game get way more aggressive attack. We gotta attack the paint more, and we need more ball movement. There's a lot of stretches too where we got a little stagnant offense or trying a little bit of one-on-one, and we need Alexander Walker to be Alexander Walker and to do his thing. He did miss some easy shots that he usually hits, a little mid-range, a couple of middies he missed. He missed a layup at the rim. And then, like I said, he hesitated in a couple threes he should have just took. But he did play some nice solid defense. He didn't get a steal in this game, but he was really disruptive. Now, a plus part is you're going to look at the box score and you're going to see, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson went for 28 points. He was 9 of 22 from the field. He got about 19 points in the first half, not even, basically damn near the first quarter, where he started off hot. But he really, if you look up at the metrics, when I saw somebody post this on Twitter, he only scored 2 points on Dyson Daniels in this whole game. Most of his points he scored were off switches. They were getting switches where we all knew they would, because we saw a little example of it the last time they played them. They were getting switches on Okongwu, and they were getting switches with C.J. McCollum on Brunson. They were trying to get that switch, getting Dyson Daniels off him and make sure Alexander Walker didn't end up on him. So they were doing double screens, trying to get the guys the matches they wanted. But for him to score 19 in the first half and then still only end up with 28 points for the whole game, that's not bad. So we only scored 9 points in the second half. Now, the thing in the second half was Towns started getting some momentum, hit a couple big shots, and that really affected them down. That helped them down the stretch from the Hawks really being able to come back and win this game. Now, from what I've seen in this game, it's only game one. Now we got some tape. Now I want to see what can the Hawks do going forward that could change things. Number one, they need to do better at boxing out. There's a couple instances in this game, in the replays, where Jalen Johnson got caught staring up at the rim off a missed shot, and the guy just runs right past him and grabs the rebound and either taps it in or come back down, throws it back out. So if Jalen's sitting there, and instead of getting caught like this, ball watching, if he looks for that guy and he just looks and puts the arm out, boxes out, that guy never gets that rebound. The ball comes to Jalen or maybe one of his other teammates. So there's a few instances where we didn't box out good enough. We got caught ball watching or trying to trust our athleticism, jumping up in the air and trying to get the rebound instead of guys boxing out. That's one thing they are going to miss with Jock Landale, because Landale always makes sure he gets a body on a guy and boxes out, and that helps with the rebounding. But, we only can play with the players we have available. So with that being said, they need to do better at boxing out. They need to trust their instincts. What do I mean? They need to go ahead. If the open shot's there, they need to take it. We've been doing it all year. That's the game plan. That's Coach Quinn's system. If you have the open shot, take it. Trust yourself. And what else does he like to preach? Cause chaos on offense and defense. I felt like the Hawks were causing chaos on defense. They were up on guys. They were getting their hand in there, poking the ball away. They were causing chaos, making every shot they took difficult. Now, a thing they did mess up on defense, they were falling for some of those pump fakes. Okongwu got caught up in the air on Towns coming up on him on a three-point where he pump faked it and then he drove it to the lane and scored. That got him going a little bit. You gotta, when he's running at him, don't fall for the pump fake. you got to stay home, stay down, get your hands in the air, make Towns make a difficult shot. If he hits it, you have to live with it. But make every shot they take difficult. And on the offensive end, we need to see more ball movement. We need to see more ball movement by the Hawks. Now, let me look and see. Let me get the exact number for you guys. So, I mean, on team average, the Hawks were close. Their average is usually about 30.5 assists per game. The Hawks had 25 assists in this game. So, it was 5-6 off from their average in the game. But those 5-6 points make a difference in this game. Now, we don't even want to talk about free throws. We sent these fools to the line. Might I add you? Let's see. How many free throws did they get? So the Knicks ended up with 30 free throws. They shot 30 free throws. How many did the Hawks get? 19 free throws. 30 free throws to 19. We already knew coming into the series that you're already going to be playing an uphill battle, especially playing in New York against the Knicks. You're going to be playing an uphill battle with the free throw disparity. Now, and the Knicks ain't even a high free throw type of team. They don't really get free throws like that throughout the year. But obviously against us, that's got to be expected. We got to overcome that. Now, the Hawks, when you get to the free throw line, you got to hit your free throws. All right? You're not going to get many chances, so when you get there, you got to hit your free throws. The Hawks were 12 of 19 from free throw. 12 of 19. So you left about 7 points out there on the free throw line alone. You got to hit those. You got to get those shots. You got to make your free throws. That's 7 points right there, right? Now, another thing is I love how aggressive C.J. McCollum was being on offense and attacking the rim. And he started off the game going back and forth with Brunson. But we can't get caught up in that one-on-one ball, and we got to have more ball movement. Now, C.J. McCollum, he ended up with only 1 assist. If you look at the last half of the season, like the final two weeks, I would say, 3 weeks, when the Hawks have success, McCollum's been getting at least 3 to 4 assists a game. He had no assists. He had 1 assist. I need 3 to 4 assists from McCollum. That's how you know ball's moving, swinging, guys are attacking. I feel like there was some times we got caught being lazy with the ball where you saw the Knicks get a couple easy pokeaways when we were trying to drive. There was one that happened on Okongwu. I saw one happen to Jalen Johnson. Guys were just being a little lazy with the ball as well. So we got to be better protect the ball. But, I mean, turnovers-wise, the Hawks weren't that bad. They had 12 turnovers as a team. But a lot of those turnovers didn't happen until the second half. They were pretty good with the ball in the first half. Now, let's see. Turnover disparity. The Knicks had 11 turnovers. So the Knicks had 11 turnovers. The Hawks had 12. So the Hawks had 1 more turnover than the Knicks. One more turnover. But I'm sure points over turnovers were a lot different. So, let's see. Let's look it up. So let's see. So the Knicks scored 18 points off of turnovers. So we turned the ball over 12 times, and off of 12 turnovers, the Knicks scored 18 points. That's not good. That's a recipe for disaster. Not only did you turn the ball over 12 times, you might look at that stat and be like, oh, well, the Knicks turned it over 11 times. Well, they scored 18 points off of those 12 turnovers. That's not good. That's not going to do anybody justice. What did the Hawks do? They scored 15 points off of turnovers. So it's a 3-point disparity, I guess you could say, off of turnovers. We scored 15 off of turnovers. They scored 18. But, we got to get back on defense. Some of those were some breakaway shots hit by them. But going forward in this series, losing that one game, I'm not devastated. I'm not mad. I'm not, There's been other years in playoffs where we lose that first game, and I'm livid, and I can't stop thinking about it, replaying it in my head. Like, come on, man. I don't feel like that in this game. Now, I like the way that we played. I feel like there were some things that the Hawks could have did better, and they could have won this game. And in a way, too, some shooting just wasn't on their side. Now, with that being said, I really believe if the Hawks get back to the basics, do what they do, ball movement, be aggressive, take the open shot when it's there, and they need to attack the paint. Especially when Mitchell Robinson's not on the court, they need to attack the paint. We need to attack the paint. We need to and figure out how we're going to slice and dice, and we need to get Daniels going. Now we got to figure out this. This is the thing. What are the Knicks doing? They're sagging off on Daniels, and they're putting Towns on Daniels. They're switching and putting Towns on Daniels, and they're putting Anunoby on Okongwu. So they're sagging off Daniels, leaving him open to shoot. Like, I used to see back in the day when you'd see teams would leave Rondo wide open, daring him to shoot. Or they used to do with Giddey in the playoffs when he was on OKC. They're daring him to shoot. You're going to have to make this shot. You would see teams used to do with Westbrook as well, daring to shoot. We're not going to give him a wide... we're not going to let him get... we're going to dare him to shoot, and we're going to sag off enough to where he don't get a wide open run at the rim, and we got more bodies in the paint now to protect the rim. So, more chances to block a shot. And then there ain't no alley-oops there. So that does hurt you in some. But I believe the Hawks could find a way to play off of this, set more screens, maybe double screens. The same thing the Knicks are doing. Set some double screens, get guys moving without the ball, some backdoor cuts, And I know people are going to beat up Ricochet for his all of 2 minutes that he played. He had some bad shots that he took. He had a little turnaround he definitely short-armed and missed. And then he had some where he was out there on the offensive glass going off for rebounds, and he just kept trying to put the putback and just couldn't get it to go with a couple opportunities, which sucked because all it took for him to hit a shot or two, and he could have got going. Confidence could have been there, and that's all we needed. But you got to remember, this is his first playoff series. He played in 2 minutes, but in 2 minutes, Ricochet still, in all of 2 minutes, Zachary Ricochet still ends up with 4 rebounds in 2 minutes. He was 0 for 3 shooting, 2 missed layups on 2 try-to-put-back attempts in the same possession, and then 1 little fadeaway that he missed. But 4 rebounds in 2 minutes, this guy was out there attacking the glass. That's what you want to see. That's why I do think he does bring valuable minutes off the bench for us. Now, Kuminga, I need to see him playing more off ball. I would like to see Kuminga get to his spots, post a guy up. We need to get the mismatch with him. Let him post up and get that little fadeaway jumper, that mid-range game going for Kuminga. I think that's where the Hawks can have a way better opportunity with that, is getting him in the post. I don't need Kuminga out here handling the ball, trying to dribble off a screen and trying to drive. I don't need that. I need Kuminga get in there in the post, call for the ball, let him post up, and either make a play or make a pass. That's what I want to see. Take advantage of your mismatches. Cause the mismatches when you can, when we get in that half-court offense. All in all, Hawks didn't do that bad. I believe we just need more aggressiveness from Alexander Walker, and we need more aggressiveness from Jalen Johnson going forward to start this next game. Hawks need to win. If the Hawks could steal this game too in New York, then we're cooking. Then we're ready to go back to Atlanta. But we need to go out with a little bit more aggression, attack the rim more, better ball movement, and I believe that the Hawks can average about 30 to 32 assists in this next game, they'll win this game. And they need to bring them turnovers down, and they need to have better decision making and not overthink themselves. That could be, game 1. You could say the crowd, but the crowd really wasn't into it in the beginning of the game. Like, we were going back and forth. We were never down that big. So the crowd wasn't really a factor until later in the game. Once Towns started making some and ones and some big plays, that's when the crowd really got into it. But, the Hawks can win this series. They can win this series. They just got to hit shots. When you get them wide open shots, you got to hit them. So anyways, y'all, that's my take on this game. I'm not super mad or irritated. The Hawks really just beat themselves in this game. This was a winnable game for the Hawks. They didn't get blown out. There was a point in this game where they were down almost 18, 19 points, and they came all the way back, and they really kept it between 5 and 8 points most of this game. And if they keep it in that range when they are down, the Hawks can win a game and win this series. They just need to make a couple better decisions down the stretch. But that's it from me, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to my breakdown. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, what you want to see better from the Hawks going forward in this game. Do you think the Hawks are done? Did they not stand a chance in this series? Or what do you like to see the Hawks make a difference in this game, adjustments-wise, to win this series and to win Game 2 in New York tomorrow, which I can't wait for. So thank you for tuning in to the ATL Trifecta. This is the very first episode of our new series on the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Let's go Hawks. To Atlanta. Hell yeah.